Welcome to Healing Body, Mind, and Soul, empowering self-care, self-healing, and self-mastery for a better world. Here's your host, Aeriol Ascher.
Hello, everyone. This is Aeriol Ascher with the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul podcast network. And today we are having an impromptu virtual self-healing summit. I have got, at the last minute, I called up and contacted some of my best experts and speakers on all kinds of different subjects. And today we really wanted to focus in on keeping everybody calm, keeping everybody safe. And so I just thought I would get some of my experts on the panel here and share with my listeners some great tips to stay grounded, to stay healthy, and to be aware so that everybody can get through this. I guess it's a panic. I've been seeing some pretty interesting things that are going on. Now, my name is Aeriol Ascher, and today all of my classes for public speaking were canceled. So I decided to call up some of the best public speakers that I know so that we can share, because I had a hole in my calendar and I know a bunch of fabulous ladies. So this is what we're doing today. So to start us off, actually, I can see all my experts here, and I just think that this is such a juicy topic. Do I have any of my fabulous guests here who would like to start us off in this topic? Is anybody burning? Dr. Beth. Okay, so I'd like to introduce Dr. Beth Halbert. Dr. Beth is an amazing speaker and author and in support of everybody everywhere. Dr. Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us a little bit about your take on what's going on right now and how people can protect themselves from panic.
Well, first of all, Aeriol, thank you for doing this. And I think, the very first thing is that we do more of this, that we get together, we collaborate, we connect, we get sane with each other. Caterina hosted a call yesterday with a bunch of people that was very grounding and soothing and healing. This call, every morning I do a dance party at 8 o'clock, and everybody's invited to come and just connect, dance, laugh, play. So stay in connection, stay in collaboration, and I have a gazillion other ideas, but I'll keep it to that one right now.
I couldn't agree with you more. It is really time to get creative, right? It's time to get creative with how we're connecting and how we're supporting each other. Thank you so much, Dr. Beth. And if our listeners have not checked out the dance party with Dr. Beth, you want to dial into that, because that is a lot of fun. And it's a great way to have community and to connect with others. All right, who else wants to chime in? Jos, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so happy to have you here. You shared a post yesterday that got me so excited and was part of the reason that I even had this impromptu summit today, Jos. And so it's great that you dove head on in here and are here with us today. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I really wanted to build on what Dr. Beth just said, because to me, I'm a strategic messaging coach, and I think words matter. How you say something directly affects how we think about it and how we act on it. And my concern is the term social distancing. I think it's very I think it's very important that we are physically distancing ourselves from each other. But I think it's an issue when we start thinking of it as social distancing, which has these implications like we're isolating, we're all by ourselves, everyone's on their own. So my tip is really to think about it as we're physically distancing ourselves, but we need the social connection more than ever before, because we need to be in community, and we need to also be independent thinkers. Even if we're not an expert in health, I think we all can come at the coronavirus from our own expertise. We can all be part of the solution. You know, I'm not an expert in health, but I am an expert in women entrepreneurship and business. And I can tell you there's a lot of implications to business right now where everybody's holding off, seeing what's going to happen. So my other message is to keep spending, to keep supporting each other, support entrepreneurs, and go to things. You know, if you said you were going to go to something, go to it. If it's now online, don't be like, well, I'm not going to go to it. Still participate.
Jos, I couldn't agree with you more, and I see all my experts in the panel nodding their heads in agreement. It's really wonderful, the point that you're bringing up, and I really want our listeners to lean into this message. The words that you use are so important, because the words that you're using to create your reality out there are affecting your mind, they're affecting the people around you, and you know, there's no reason to cause a panic. We can call in our health and wellness at this time with our language and our mindset. Who has something to chime in? Tracie, great, juicy. Oops, here, let me get your
Sorry,
microphone.
I did it myself. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Thank you so much, Aeriol, for inviting me to be part of this. This is such the perfect way to start this day. I'm super stoked.
It's awesome to have you. I just want, Tracie, let me give you an introduction.
Oh,
Tracie
great.
is wonderful. I just went to an event at her center in Santa Cruz. It's beautiful. It's nice and airy and spacious. People are not crammed in on top of each other. And I imagine that small gatherings are still fine at Gathering, which is her space in Santa Cruz. So Tracie, because your business is a gathering space, what do you have to say about all this?
Yeah, so in fact, there's an event going on today and tomorrow at Gather, and so from a venue standpoint, from the venue owner standpoint, I'm obviously partnering with my clients to help them still facilitate what they're trying to do for their businesses or their communities. And it's their call whether they want to continue or not. And I'm doing everything I can to support them either direction. So for instance, the folks that are there this weekend, they have a certain number of people. And what we did is we just spread out as far as we could in the room. This gave them lots of space to be able to maneuver in the room. They're 6 to 8 feet apart from each other. And the guidelines that we all have for any activity, which is continue to wash your hands upon arrival or departure, stay, like Jos said, physically distant while still staying emotionally and personally connected, and continue to learn and to grow and to absorb what you can from the people in our community around us, whether that ends up being online, which is totally great, or if you can do it in person, if small groups, work for you, if you're not an at-risk person, if no one in the space is physically ill meaning, sneezing or coughing, let's leave it at that, then, that has been talked about as being okay. Everyone gets to make their own decisions, and we all want to support each other's decisions. But you're right about the idea of panic versus calm decision making. And I think that if we can all kind of, like Jos said, be our independent thinkers and make our decisions for ourselves based on what feels right for us, then we can continue to thrive not just make it through, but continue to thrive and find new ways to thrive over the course of this kind of time period that will be finite ultimately. We just don't know what that end looks like.
Well said, Tracie, really well said. You know, I'm supposed to be in my classes today, and for my classes, this has been going on for a little while. This is the first time that my classes actually got canceled, but we have been saying jazz hands save lives. This is our new, it's our new greeting for everything. So everybody is getting into jazz hands and making it fun and bringing some levity to the situation. Hi, everybody, you know, how's it going? You know, and instead of shaking or hugging, and I'm a big hugger, so this is impacting me. And hello, has any of my experts noticed I can't stop touching my face? Oh my God, I'm a danger to society. I cannot stop touching my face. I never noticed that I had this bad habit before, but this is bringing my awareness there. So that's something new to look into. Anyway, thank you so much. Who would like to chime in?
Can I say one thing about Tracie? Just one thing about Tracie real fast. Just everybody does panic a different way, and there's no wrong way to do panic. Everybody does grieving a different way, and there's no wrong way to grieve. So the more love we can have, like some people want complete and total isolation, love them in that. Some people are like, whatever, like we all get to choose. I just wanted to highlight what Tracie was saying.
It's a great point, Dr. Beth, that everybody has different reactions. Some people are stockpiling toilet paper and some people are going about business as usual. And I have come to the awareness that I touch my face often. And I'm working on that. All right, who else has something to chime in and say? Don't be shy, ladies. Caterina Rando. Fantastic. With us today, Caterina Rando from the Thriving Women in Business community. Caterina is a public speaker and out and about very, very often in groups. So Caterina, what are your thoughts about what's going on here, and what do you have to say to support our audience with?
Well, one thing, you know, of course I agree with Dr. Beth and Tracie and Jos and yourself about, you know, continue to be in community and find ways to be in community virtually. And I want to second Dr. Beth's invitation to come to the dance party Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. And what I find my biggest challenges when I start to get stressed is that my normal self-care mastery goes out the window, or at least gets close to the window. And what I mean by that is, first thing is, you know, make sure you're getting enough sleep, because sleep is an important part not only of your immune system, but of your emotional health. When we're not getting enough sleep, and really when we don't have a regular sleep schedule, what happens is we tend to get a little more depresso, and especially for women. And this current situation can facilitate a little depresso because we're more isolated than usual, or some people are choosing to self-isolate. And I was in the grocery store yesterday, and not only was there not hardly anything on the shelves, but the people there were not happy. And you know, there was so my point is that it's not just about our physical immune system health, it's also about paying attention to your emotional health, exercise, get a good sleep routine, and then of course being in community is also an important part of emotional health. So make sure that you're doing something like this. And Aeriol, thank you for your leadership in hosting this today. And it's also an opportunity for all of us who have communities to be looking for the opportunity for you to support the ladies in your community so that they don't feel isolated and they don't get depresso. And, you know, I know that this is not just for business people. I do want to say, though, that all of us have businesses and that we want to have a long-term view of our business. And so extra attention to your clients these days is going to support your business long-term, and it's going to support your clients long-term. So let's not just remember the emotional, this physical health. Let's put attention on our emotional health and supporting our clients and our friends and our families with their emotional health. And again, that is do all those self-care things that we know work, and to make sure that we're in community on a daily basis. And the last thing I'll say is, let's be extra good to ourselves, because sometimes when we are stressed out, the negative self-talk increases. And no negative self-talk, love yourself, and then be good to yourself some more.
And then love yourself some more. That's right. Thank you so much, Caterina. I love it. You know, the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul podcast is all about empowering whole self-care, self-healing, and self-mastery. So all the parts of ourselves, not just our physical self, but also our emotional well-being and a positive mindset, which includes the words we say inside our head and the words that come through our mouth, right, Jos? Okay, who would like to chime in? My panel of experts. Oh my gosh, you're in for a treat, everybody. This is Linda Lenore, feng shui master and frequent flyer on my Healing Body, Mind, and Soul podcast, because I just can't get enough of spending time with Linda, and she has a lifetime supply of wisdom to bring. Linda, lay it on us. What's going on here?
Well, thank you so much, Aeriol. Yes, we had a fun time just less than a week ago talking, or in fact, earlier this week, I guess it was, doing some things. I live up in the Washington area, so we were starting to be affected by this more so than many other people from the very, very beginning. You know, the first death in the US was here. And I wound up having a lot of people, not only close neighbors, but my clients contacting me, you know, wondering how I was and what's going on, and, you know, trying to get all the information. And it was interesting to try to explain to people that their worry, their fear was actually creating more of the same energy. And for many of my clients who are in or were in fear, I hope that they're not at this point, I kept saying, our thoughts create our reality. And then if you start speaking it, that's how things start manifesting. So let's start looking at the words that we're actually using, and let's start raising our vibration to the highest possible vibration we possibly can. And so that does start with our own self-care. It also comes from our thoughts. What are we doing, and how do we react and respond to our own physical environment? And so what I was suggesting to a lot of my clients, because I was starting to do it myself, was love your house. You know, you may be spending more time in your house now than you have been in the past. And all those little things that were irritants to you, take care of them. You now have some time. You're not going to be out there doing things with other people. So fix that thing that was broken. Get rid of that item that you no longer want any longer. And one of the main things is to love on your house. That may mean that you do some deep spring cleaning to it. Anything that you can do to reduce the dust, the clutter that's in the house is going to raise the vibration of the house, which in turn is going to raise your vibration. And also love, as I said, love your house. Literally create an altar or a section or a little space that is what we call the heart point of the house. It needs to be a quiet place. It needs to be a place that doesn't have electrical energy going on with a refrigerator or a TV. Maybe it's a little altar. Maybe what I had to do sometimes in my life is get a little heart-shaped piece of paper even, or find a piece of candy that's, you know, heart-shaped, and put it in a bowl and put it up on a shelf. And remember that that's the center of love for your home. And that center of love is then going to vibrate, create that vibration of love, and that's going to radiate outward to the space and fill you with love and continue to radiate out beyond that. Love is the highest vibration. Fear is the lowest vibration. So if we can shift that fear mentality to a love vibration, that's going to help create such a high vibration the virus cannot live in it. And this is some of the information that I've received from a number of my feng shui masters and other masters that I've studied with. We can bring in objects that remind us of high vibration. That's also something we can talk about that. People can contact me. And what I've found is whenever anyone is finding a way to create that love, especially a unique way within their home, that is going to bring joy to them. That's going to raise their vibration. It's going to raise the vibration of the family members. So that would be what I would say at this point.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. So you guys, I prepared a little something fun to share with you today, and then we'll do another round of speaking, but I prepared a fun song that I would love to have you all. Oh, Kelsey hasn't spoken yet. Actually, I want to save my song until after Kelsey. I'm so sorry. My audience is going to be like, what's going on? Sorry, Kelsey, I didn't forget about you. I've got a little slip of paper with your name on it right here to remind me. I would like to introduce the fabulous Kelsey Bassanini. Now, Kelsey is a healing artist who is working with the mind-body connection and doing all kinds of fabulous things, helping people with their biofield and strengthen their the vibration of their heart center. So this is right up Kelsey's alley. And thank you so much for taking some time to be with us today, Kelsey.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is a wonderful opportunity to get in touch with our nervous system and to find out how we can up-level our nervous system so that we can boost our immune system. So I'd like to share with you that panic and fear actually make our nervous system work harder. And so we can tame our nervous system by, there's a point called the vagus nerve point. It's right on the back of your ear, right below this bone right here. And so I invite you to explore what that feels like, because the vagus nerve helps your body to rest and digest. So there are wonderful ways of activating or calming the vagus nerve. You can try your favorite essential oils. Speaking of changing our vibration, you can play with vibration. I have a tuning fork. I have an electric toothbrush. So there are lots of ways to stimulate that. And I also invite you to play with unrolling your ear. There are lots of sensitive points in your ear. And then, going to the opposite side, unrolling your ear. Those are fun ways to play with your nervous system. Another way that you can ground your energy is to walk outside barefoot, walk in the sun. And if you're in a position where that's not possible for you, then you can still ground your energy by taking a spoon and using the convex, the rounded side of it, and rubbing it all over your bare feet. That helps you to just discharge any excess electrons that you might have flowing through your energy systems. Another way that you can support your immune system is through what you eat, because what you eat provides the building blocks for how your body grows. And by cutting sugar out, you can boost your immune system by 50%, because sugar takes away the enzymes and vitamins that your body needs to drive proper function. And in your bloodstream, you have these chemical messengers called hormones. So if you eat the right foods, eat nourishing whole foods, then your hormones will express better. And so if you find yourself feeling agitated, it's a sign that maybe your hormones or your body chemistry isn't balanced. And so I invite you to first hydrate, drink water, and then maybe pay attention to, hey, if I eat this, how do I feel? If I eat that, how do I feel? And there are lots of natural whole foods that we can eat to boost our immune system. There's calcium. Our body needs calcium right now because that can go into our tissues and polarize the white blood cells to fight the virus, right? And then to get the calcium in from our bloodstream into our tissues, we need vitamin D, we need vitamin or essential fatty acids. And then from there, once the virus is being tamed, we need vitamins A and C to oxidize that out of our body. So this is a great time to cook with garlic and cook with radish, because all those sulfur types of vegetables will help to improve your drainage systems. So, and also you can play with quality herbs like echinacea and St. John's wort, and that will help to boost your nervous system, especially for this type of virus. So thank you so much.
Fantastic. You heard that, audience. Now go out and get yourself some garlic. Now that we're all isolating,
yes,
time to indulge in mussels linguine, right? Or
yes.
something fabulous with lots of garlic. It's very good for the immune system. Now, something else. Now, I work with energy, the way that Kelsey works with the physical building blocks here. And I want to remind everybody to imagine bathing yourself in ultraviolet light. Okay. For my woo-woo people, they might call that the Saint Germain's flame, or the violet flame, something like this. But for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about when I say that, I just want you to use your imagination. And we know that ultraviolet light clears any sort of microbes or anything. Scientists use this all the time. So we can also use the powerful force of our imagination to bathe ourselves in that purple rain, I like to call it, because I'm an 80s girl. And, and those of you who know what I'm talking about and are Prince fans, you will be right with me. But imagine bathing yourself in this purple flame or violet flame energy to raise your frequency and transmute any lower energies into a higher frequency. Something also that Kelsey said excited me, because what I do with my vibrational bowl therapy with my clients is actually help to stimulate that vagus nerve and to help my clients slip over into that parasympathetic nervous system, yes, so that they get out of fight or flight and into real relaxation. Because most of the time, I think that our bodies are in that fight or flight mode. And I mean, we were designed a long time ago, and frankly, we don't have a T-Rex or a Brontosaurus chasing us. So the level of stress that we are taking in and having our bodies go through is not the life-threatening stress that that this was designed for. So it's important to relax, breathe deeply, and fill your body and mind with positive vibration. Now, when I see clients, I actually literally lay the bowls on them and tone on them, right? So that's one way to do it. Feeding the body to raise the vibration is also a way to do it. Bathing yourself in this purple rain, being cognizant of the language that you use, all of these things are ways to raise your vibration. Now, I want to share with you my silly song. And it is a silly song, so don't get excited, because this is not going to be an opera star for you today. Linda Lenore, the fabulous Linda Lenore, and myself had a great discussion about color and vibration the other day, and I got my boom whackers out. I'm so excited to say. So I wanted to talk a little bit about color and vibration. Now, this is a little bit chakras. So Linda, if you want to jump in, or if anybody wants to jump in, just give me the high sign. I want to talk about it. So colors actually have vibration. Now in springtime, we are getting into, it's almost St. Patrick's Day. We talked, Linda Lenore and I talked a little bit about Mardi Gras and the colors that are associated with those holidays and that time of year. So your in the chakra system, the green chakra is like this. This is an F note. Okay, so going around singing songs in the key of F, thinking of your heart chakra, opening your heart chakra, putting green energy everywhere with your consciousness. Green is healing energy, okay? Then we've got purple. Linda Lenore knows this too. We just talked about that violet flame energy, and we can put these two together, makes a tone, right? Now, this purple color, this would actually be your sixth chakra. It's really blue sort of coloring. But I just want you to know there are a lot of different ways to raise frequency using color, using vibration, using light, whether it be actual ultraviolet light or imagining using ultraviolet light. These are all different ways that you can arm yourself. Also, Linda, I'm referring to our conversation. So this was my color combination today, brought to you by the colors green, purple, and gold. Today, our presentation is brought to you by the colors green, purple, and gold, having to do with the heart, having to do with creativity. This is a D for those of us. Now, for those of anybody out there who is a musician, you will know this is a D minor chord that I've got in my hands here. I don't know, you probably can't get good sound quality with boom whackers, but I just want to demonstrate to you these different vibrations. So all together, I made up a song that we can all sing together. It goes something like this. Please wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Don't spread the coronavirus. Please wash your hands. Now, ladies, I would like to unmute you all. I think we all need to have a resounding, so join me all. If you can, unmute yourself. Let's see. Oh, unmute all. I have to get my technology together. Now, in order to empower the voices of leadership on the planet and to instill good self-care habits.
And humor is good. And humor is good. Humor raises vibration too.
Humor is a very high vibration. And remember, we're going to end this with a resounding jazz hands. So here we go, ladies. So this is called Please Wash Your Hands. And this is the women's experts and leaders in self-care and everything awesome choir. So here we go, ladies. I'll start us out. Please wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Don't spread the coronavirus. Please wash your hands. So try it one more time. We've got all kinds of technology problems, but our listeners are going to be
in the right place.
Here we go. All right. Please wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Don't spread the coronavirus. Please wash your hands. Okay, ladies, jazz hands, jazz hands. Okay, so we need to have a little bit of levity about everything that is going on here. So we do have a little bit more time on our conference, and I don't want my show-stopping song to be the end of our party here. I want that only to be the jumping point of our.
Are you a healing practitioner, teacher, trainer, or coach with a huge message of self-empowerment, healing, or transformation that you want to share out to the world? Then we invite you to join our amazing self-care book project. Visit somasoundtherapy.com. It's time to show up, speak up, and stand out. We are looking for co-authors to join our book opportunity entitled Empowered Self-Care, Healing Body, Mind, and Soul for a Better World. For all the info, just visit us at somasoundtherapy.com. Are you ready to be heard?
Of our conversation, because I think that we need to let people know that if they approach things lightheartedly, that they will be in much better shape than if they panic. I actually saw somebody like dressed like they were going to the zombie apocalypse, going to the 7-Eleven the other day. So crazy, right? Anybody want to add? Dr. Beth is like me. I have something to say. I knew the boom whackers would get Dr. Beth's attention.
I know.
Over to you, Dr. Beth.
You fire me up, Aeriol. You fire me up. Well, one of the things I want to say is about relationship, because one of the things that's happening right now is we have a tendency to trigger each other, and especially our fabulous, famous, loving teenagers, and how they can do all sorts of things. One of the famous lines I heard yesterday from one teenage son coming back from college was, as he's in the house and his teenage siblings are in the house and the parents are now commuting and working from home, it's like, I wonder who's going to kill us first, each other or the coronavirus. So it's going to be absolutely critical that we find love for each other more than we ever have in our lives. That also will raise vibration. If I let your behavior take me down, that also creates more stress, immune system, and opens places. So find ways to make fun, make light of, have fun with your family at home and with your people that are around you that can trigger the bejeebies out of you.
Awesome. Awesome. You know, I have to tell you that, thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Beth. Now I have to tell you, at my house, that's exactly what we do. My mother sings to the dogs, and we make up silly songs. So I'm just sharing my family secrets of keeping the vibration high. We 2 times a day we have the dinner dance song, and we have the breakfast dance song, and the dogs do their little thing. They do tricks and everything. Of course, you know, I spent so much time in dog training. Ziggy can ring bells and do twirls and all kinds of things. But yeah, that's how we make fun when we're cooped up, right? Anybody else have something they want to say? Oh, sorry, Tracie was just touching her face. Was that raising your hand, or hey, you have to unmute, sweetheart? Tracie.
There. I actually did have one. I might have forgotten it now after the whole face touching thing, but
I'm sorry.
So it's okay. I think what it was and knowing kind of where you're at and that you're trying, I think is really important. So the other day, when it was announced that the kids were going to be off school for this coming week, and when I saw the weather forecast of the rain that's supposed to arrive here in Santa Cruz in a couple of hours, today, tomorrow, Monday, into Tuesday, and I really, like, the weather really can get me down. Staying home with like nowhere to go can really get me down. So I told my husband, I said, I want to warn you that I'm probably not really going to be in a great mood naturally over the course of this weekend, because, and the reason why I said that to him is because I wanted to tell myself to notice how I was responding to my environment and my own mood and my own vibration, so that I can notice that I need to shift when at all possible, because my natural tendency will be to kind of be a little bummed out over the course of this negative weather, no shopping, no people to go see and things to go do and coffee shops to visit and whatever.
Grumpy pants.
What?
Grumpy pants.
Yeah. I mean, and so,
it's easy to get grumpy pants in the rain.
And so now I can be watching for it, so that I can.
Plus, you got a house full of kids, right? So you've got all of this plus a house full of kids.
And all the kids want to do is go have sleepovers because they think this is a big vacation. And so I have to be like the police to an extent, the mean mom, right? Who doesn't let the kids, so, and
it's going to be a challenge.
Again, just remembering that how I respond to that and how I show up for myself and for everyone else is really totally in my own control.
And letting everybody have their feelings, including the teenagers and their grumpy pants.
Yeah. For not getting to have 10 people sleep over.
So are they allowed to have a 10-person sleepover? That doesn't seem to me like that is any better than them being at school. They might be in closer proximity with a sleepover, right?
It's
so how do you
sweaty and gross and touching all the things. Yeah. So, a person or 2 might be okay, but last weekend they had a 10-person sleepover at one of the kids' houses and they had a blast. And all they want to do is repeat that because it was so much fun. And a lot of it was, the good thing is a lot of it was outside. They were doing Nerf wars for hours on end. But still, that's not what's going on. This is not a vacation. This is not a license to do whatever you want. This is a time where we have to, like, they still have school next week. You know, work to be done. It's not like it's spring break 3 weeks early. So
right. So this is a whole different level of self-care. Being this is parent care, right? Making sure that you're safe and sane, not only as a woman and business owner, but as a parent, and finding ways to direct and empower them that are going to be in alignment with these restrictions. Like that's no small task. So, you know. How about anybody else?
It's a small task every day, and then you add all of this
every day. Yes, I didn't mean to imply that it was a small task any day. I don't have kids. Remember me and my dinner dance. That is the my dog Dolly does a very cute rendition of dinner dance, I must say. Jos, you had something to chime in about.
Yes, you know, on the topic of keeping our energy up and vibrating at a higher frequency, I think it's important whenever there is something that's a threat to see the opportunity. Whenever there's a threat, you always look, you're like, yay, it's a threat. I get to see the opportunity from the situation, which is so important, especially as women entrepreneurs and business people, is what good things can come out of this, right? I think I've had so many women entrepreneurs this week come to me in tears. They've been, you know, I've been planning an in-person event for the past 6 months or a year, and now I have to cancel it. And, you know, it's really upsetting. But the thing that I would say is to look for the opportunity. I wouldn't think of it as canceling. I would think of it as rescheduling, or more effectively adapting to the times. Now is the time to put on our entrepreneurial hats and be role models of how to do business as unusual, right? How do we do business as unusual? And really see the opportunity in that, because we are, whether we like it or not, we are moving towards being a more global online community, right? And so what we do today during these times, even if we're forced into it, really could end up being some of our best products and services in the future. So that's the way that I'm looking at it.
Well, Jos, you have an online community and you do a lot of online networking. I want to give you a high five for the work that you have been doing in this area. And, you know, I'm a huge tech geek and tech fan, and I try as much as possible to do things online. I spend way too much time on my online marketing because it's what I love in my business. And I love Facebook. I love all of the social online. I love the opportunity that's available to communicate with large audiences. I embrace it. And Jos is an early adapter as myself, but I love what you're saying here. Really take the opportunity, you know, look at the Brontosaurus as dinner, not as a threat. I'm making a joke there. So I just had to tell everybody that it was a joke. So anyway, Linda, did you have something you wanted to add there?
Yes, there are several different things that have been going on around here that I thought would be interesting to share, in that taking what Josie was saying, take this as an opportunity to reinvent, to recreate, to do something a little bit different than what you've been doing before. For instance, some of the teenagers that all of a sudden found themselves not going to school this next week in the Seattle area because of all the children that are not going to be in school, have taken it upon themselves to do childcare. So they're going to, they put it online that, you know, you need someone to watch your children. I'm here to be able to watch your children. You need someone that's going to tutor your kids or help them through school. Do that. So finding a way to take your gifts, whatever they happen to be, and take them out and use them for the better good. You know, you have to take precautions, obviously, and there's no reason that you can't be doing some of the things that you really want to do and that you're really good at. Maybe you're a grief counselor, and some of the people that are going through this episode, this is a time for you to share those gifts with them. Or maybe you're really great at technology, and all of a sudden some elderly people don't know how to do FaceTime, so they can't get in touch with their family. This is a way for them to do that. So there's ways for us to take this and turn it around and find our gifts and use them for the better. This will also raise the vitality of everyone and everything, because then you're not sitting around thinking about what's going on. You're out there doing something to support someone else. And this, I'm looking at it as a time that I'm going to be able to do a whole bunch of my to-do lists that I've been wanting to do. The new hobby, you know, I've been doing some photography. I don't need anyone else around me while I'm doing photography. I can go out and be with nature. I can take pictures. I can enjoy myself. And then I can enjoy, you know, make a scrapbook, or make a, you know, take one of the various online or like Shutterfly and create a book. Maybe take your memories, take some of your family photos. This is a time to take advantage of, well, gee, I don't have enough time to do this. Turn it around. You now have the time to be able to do these things. And it's a time, I'm looking at it, for us to be able to share some of our ancestry, some of our heritage with our family that we've never had an opportunity to do. So find a way to take some of your gifts and some of the things that you've wanted to do and put them all together and create something beautiful during this time frame. That will also raise your vitality and everyone else's.
Right. If you can be grateful for what you've got instead of pushing against what you've not, right?
Yes, very good.
Be grateful for what you've got. Yes. Oh, yay, I get to stay home and do my spring cleaning, right? I had a
love on your house.
I'm loving on my house, Linda Lenore. You know, I live with my mom, and she always does a lot of online shopping. And I am the one that has to put away the shopping and get rid of all the Amazon boxes and do all of the behind the scene things that keeps our household running. And when I was watching all of the toilet paper crisis going on in all of the cities everywhere, I was loving on my mama for stockpiling toilet paper in our hall closet. I'm like, look at all our fabulous toilet paper.
Good to know. Good to know. That is good to know. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Everybody's going to come to my house, because I keep going, where are we going to store all this? You know, and so we've got, you know, enough. We are not actually stockpiling. But it was so funny. I was thinking of that today when I was looking at the hall closet, that before I was mad because I'm like, this whole closet is full of toilet paper, can't, you know, and now I'm like, yay, look at our fabulous toilet paper. Anyway, that's my radical reframe for today. Yes, Linda.
A quick thing about all those Amazon boxes. One of the organizers had sent me a thing, and take your Amazon boxes and start filling it with clothes that you're going to donate, because there's going to be some people that don't have the money to be able to buy the clothing that they need for themselves or for their children. So here's a way that you can take some of these items and get rid of the Amazon boxes and benefit other people with things as well.
Awesome. I love reusing. Something that I was thinking during your share also, Linda Lenore, was it is a time for us to adapt. I've heard that through a couple of the ladies' shares, that it is a time for us to adapt. And I want to add on to that, I don't want to just adapt at this time. I want to evolve. All right. I don't want to just make do and try to put out some fires. I want to get to a higher state of consciousness, so that it's business as usual that we are being mindful about these things. And it's business as usual that we are putting attention on our self-care. So my word there, and I invite you all to embrace it, is evolve. This is what we're going to. This is, like Jos was saying earlier, we are evolving into a society where we have a global connection, right? We need to think about the big picture here. Anyway, so our time, oh, go ahead. Dr. Beth has something to say.
So I would love to know, Aeriol, if you have any insight. I've also heard that part of this is evolving into awakening and evolving into coming into a higher and higher vibration. And those that are connecting with source, connecting in with love, in collaboration with each other will survive. Those that are isolating, hoarding, fearing, fighting, creating havoc are more likely to have more challenges. So what's your take on that, Aeriol?
Well, I think that anytime people are going to either thrive or survive, right? Anytime that's happening. But we are going through astrologically a time when not only individuals are awakening, but the planet is awakening to consciousness. It's why we are seeing the energy of the whole planet is evolving, right? So now it's not just a couple yogis sitting on a mountaintop. It's all of mankind and the planet itself awakening, right? I have found it's very interesting because, of course, I have been had my fingertips on the pulse of this, as has Linda Lenore, for many, many years, more than 30 years. And this is the time we've been preparing for, right? This is the time. So I was at a seminar the other day, and who knows why. It wasn't a woo-woo seminar, but somebody spotted me and came up to me and started talking to me about how she didn't know what to do. And she thought that perhaps I could help her, that she was having very vivid dreams and she was having contact with other realms and things because she's having a spiritual awakening. And she is not prepared for this kind of consciousness. She had no way, she didn't even, it's not part of her reality. She's like, Aeriol, I believe she's an insurance salesman. She's like, I'm an insurance salesman. I don't know why I'm seeing all these spirits and they're contacting me and they're telling me things. And I'm like, okay, she needs some assistance because this is happening to everybody. It has to do a little bit with our pineal gland, and I think Kelsey can speak to this a little bit. But that is your third eye. And it is where all of that extra sensory perception and things that were not maybe mainstream topics in the past that are becoming more mainstream now, right? Woo is standard operating procedure now. I hate to break it to anybody, but things that people were saying were woo-woo before, this is now standard operating procedure. And the people that evolve into this new standard operating procedure will survive and thrive. And the people that do not evolve into this standard operating procedure, like you said, Beth, their vibration will stay in this competition, black and white energy, instead of this co-creation and collaborative energy that we're moving into. So yes. I think I've answered your question here. I think I've answered your question and more, and I've got Kelsey excited. Yeah. So Kelsey's gonna. I got Kelsey super excited there. I saw her perk up. What do you got to add, Kelsey?
Well, I resonate with everything that you say, and Dr. Beth and Joe. I think this is a great opportunity to look at what our limits are, and then to say, hey, what can we focus on that isn't tangible physical resources, but that we have unlimited intangible resources with our energy, right? With our voice, with our vibration, and that we can share with so many people. There's no limit to that. We can even be in social distance and share that. So I think that when there are times of crisis and we have restrictions, that's the time, like, a diamond is formed under pressure, right? So when we're under that pressure, there's an ability to go, look, I'm going to think creatively. How can I serve my community? What can I offer that comes from a place where there's unlimitless sense of belonging, unlimitless sense of community? And I want to empower those who receive from me to then turn around and share that with their networks and their circles of influence. So this is a wonderful time. And with the rain, now I empathize with families with young children and being stuck inside, but the rain also, that's a water cycle, right? So there's a cleansing. It's going to change the ionization in the atmosphere. So there's an opportunity there to feel grounded to the earth and in a different way. So how we perceive what is coming at us can really set a space for, is it going to be threat or is it going to be embrace? Is it going to be, is our outlook expansive or constrictive? And so I'm so excited about ways to look at what we have that's unlimited.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kelsey. Linda.
I just want to jump on that, Kelsey, because there are so many people that do wind up getting into that fear, that lower vibration. And so stressing within our community to be with people that are uplifting, that are positive, that are looking at how we can take this forced challenge that we have globally and make it something wonderful. I've reached out to people that I have wanted to stay in touch with and I haven't had a chance to stay in touch with for whatever reason, and to say, I'm here for you if you need me. I'm here, I can listen, I can give you some guidelines. You know, this is a time for us to come together and to be with people that are positive, that are going to help us get through any challenges that we might have, whether it's on the physical level, the mental level, emotional, or the spiritual. But to reach out to people that are positive and not be in groups or listening to things that are fear-based.
Awesome. Okay, ladies, we are wrapping up our time now, and I would like to do a very quick round robin. I would love to, I'm going to just ask you to please give your website or one way that people can reach out to you if you like. Let's start with you, Dr. Beth.
drbeth.com. DRBETH.com. And I've got tons of free resources. I'm going to be doing Facebook Lives on how to handle your family in this crisis, how to keep staying in love.
Thank you so much. Tracie.
Yeah, the best way to find me is definitely Facebook. You can see my picture there. I've got bright pink hair in my profile picture. It's tracie.tree.root is my personal profile, but I've got a profile for my coaching, or a page for my coaching, a page for Gather in Santa Cruz. So social media is the best place to find me and to get to know me better.
Fantastic. Okay, Linda.
The best way to reach me is through my website. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll get some tips on things for helping you any time of the year, but especially now. And then you'll get my newsletter, and the website is lindalenore.com, LINDALENORE.com.
Fantastic. Jos, my sweet.
If you're looking to do more virtual networking with other women entrepreneurs, we have virtual speed networking for free coming up this Thursday. So promote the heck out of your business, get in front of more women, and go to promoteherbusiness.com, promoteherbusiness.com.
Thank you, Jos. Kelsey, you're up.
Hi, you can find me on Facebook. You can look under my name, Kelsey Bassanini, or you can look under my business page, which is Natural Health Improvement Center of San Jose. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Caterina Rando. Oops, you're muted, my dear. Let's get you unmuted. Go ahead.
I love Facebook also, and you can find me there. You can see how to spell my name, Caterina Rando. And the other thing is, I want to invite you to join our Facebook group, which is Thriving Women in Business Group. And there's lots of good, fun things happening there. And connect online. Bing, bing, bing.
Thank you so much, Caterina Rando. Okay, I would like to unmute you all, and I would like to do one last resounding encore of "Please wash your hands." I'm going to do it without. Well, no, I'll do it with accompaniment. Okay, here we go. Please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands.
Don't spread the coronavirus. Please wash your hands. That's right. Jazz hands heal. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us for the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul podcast with your host, Aeriol Ascher. Today's program has been brought to you by Soma Sound Therapy and the Healing Body, Mind, and Soul Network.